Welcome to another installment of The Completionist, our series that takes a look at the conclusions to games that most of us will never see. I'm Matt Miller. I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Kyle Hilliard.
Oh, a friend. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Indeed.
More than just a colleague.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
We're going to take a look today at Fez, a game on a lot of people's minds right now, but many people have not gotten to the point that you have in this game, and what we're going to be taking a look at today, which is not only have you already beaten the game the first time through, which many people can claim that they have done.
Yes. I was not the first person in the office to do that, certainly.
But on top of that, you've gone back into New Game Plus and gotten all the rest of the cubes, all the anti-cubes, all the normal golden cubes, all the collectibles, all the artifacts.
Yeah, even some things that you don't, that are hidden, like, because the way the map works is it highlights a level gold when you find all the secrets. So there are even 3 cubes that are not highlighted by that you can find, and those I won't claim that I tracked them down completely on my own. I got some help near the end of this game, but I went a really long time without looking up any hints. I was talking to you about it. I think give or take, there's, I don't know, maybe about 100 rooms or so in here that each have hidden secrets in them. Mm-hmm. I probably didn't start looking up some help until I had about 9 rooms left.
Okay.
So I went really far before I started trying to get some help. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've both played a lot of this game. When I reviewed the game, I certainly played all the way through the game and got that first ending and continued to play into New Game Plus a long ways before I wrote my review. But some of those later puzzles, particularly in the time before the game had released, before there was anybody to really talk to about the dilemmas that were at hand there, was just pretty crazy to try to continue progress. But I've been still working on it. But at this point, you're pretty much have almost everything in the game now.
Yeah, I left this last puzzle to solve so that we could do this on the Completionist.
Right.
And I'm having trouble already. Let's see. That'd be funny if we have to. Let's see. Okay. There's these symbols on the wall, and basically they look like Tetris pieces, and the numbers dictate which order you need to do them through. The little symbols dictate numbers, and I thought I had it, but maybe I don't. There we go. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
So
An
this
anti-cube.
it's the last anti-cube.
Awesome. Now let's take a
How
look
happy he is.
at your. Oh wait.
Incredible. Thanks, game.
Well, so let's pause here for a second. Pull up your inventory screen.
All right.
All right. So there's your 32 cubes.
All the maps.
All the treasure maps.
All the artifacts which serve no purpose whatsoever that I have found. I really don't know what these things are for, but I found them all.
I think they offer clues about the numbers and the letters and things like that.
I suppose that. Well, that's what I thought, but I don't know. So I don't know. But so yeah, and then all the anti-cubes.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
So it's telling us we can go back to the Stargate. So we'll do that. But while we're going, I want to ask you about your experience with the game, having played as much of it as you have. Do you have any favorite puzzles?
Oh, that's a good question. Favorite puzzles. How about, because we talked a little bit at lunch about some of the aspects. I know you had a puzzle in particular that you liked. So maybe you talk about yours, and that will give me a chance to think about what I would consider to be mine, because I'm not really sure.
I mean, my personal favorite, it certainly wasn't the hardest one that I've solved, but it was the one that most fit within the theme of really having to kind
so
of...
far, so good.
Nice jump there.
Thanks. Proud of myself and my jumps.
Part of what I liked about this one puzzle was that it really fit within that theme of having to change your perspective and think in a unique way. And it was the one involving your controller's vibration, which basically had you walk past this one statue, and when you got there, your controller would vibrate. And I don't know about for other people. Maybe other people are a lot smarter than I and figured it out much quicker. But I walked past that at least a couple times, just thinking oh, well, it's vibrating. It's just telling me that there's something significant about this this place, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. And it wasn't until I stopped and really examined what was going on there that I realized that there was an actual pattern to the vibration, and that it was vibrating left and right, and then I actually had to do a series of rotations that matched up to that. And when I did, sure enough, I got an anti-cube.
Yeah. That one was really cool. There's a couple of those too, which is kind of, there's like, I think there's 3 of those.
Okay.
They're the same exact puzzle. So it's kind of nice when you figure it out and then you find it again and you're like, oh, I know exactly what to do here.
Right.
I think one of my favorite puzzles, and I asked you about this, and I don't know if you'd gotten to it yet, Miller, but you see a lot of Tetris pieces around the world, and those actually dictate button inputs.
Sure.
And the way you figure that out is there's a level that as you're like walking by and pressing buttons, you'll see the Tetris pieces just kind of highlight on this billboard.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
flash
I
for a
found
second.
that spot.
Yeah, and that's how you figure out what each one signifies.
Gotcha.
And there's a number of puzzles, like after you beat the game once, you can go into this first-person mode.
Right.
And there's these little like these little stands that you can stand on, and when you stand on them and look at the ground, you will see codes. You'll see Tetris pieces that tell you, what order to do things in, and you'll usually get anti-cubes that way.
Oh, cool.
So that one was really cool, and actually my wife figured that one out. My wife and I played this together. Like I did the playing, but she did a lot of the note taking and puzzle solving, and she really helped me out. Yeah, and she's a super genius math person, so she was explaining to me what hypercubes are and all that kind of stuff. So
now this place is pretty interesting. I remember coming to this area, but the water covers up that area.
Yeah, one of the.
So you saw some sort of way to get through that and actually see the you get the water to lower, presumably.
Yeah, and actually you have to. And then there's that door. I don't know if you guys saw, but you have to have all 64 cubes to get in.
Right.
And this is all this room is, actually. It's just these, and they're the blocks I mentioned earlier. Those 3 blocks are not identified on the map, but you can find them. There's one, the hardest puzzle in the game has to do with translating the language and solving a riddle presented by the language, and you get a piece there. And there's a room with a telescope. And there's regular anti-cubes in there, but there's also hints in the sky that are just really subtle that lets you get another one of those cubes as well.
Oh, okay.
And then finally there's one other puzzle, and it's one of those kind of puzzles where you look on the ground and you see the code and you enter the code, and then this just black obelisk, it just appears.
Okay.
And from what I understand, maybe it's been figured out already. This is one I had to look up online. The person that I looked up online who figured out how to turn the obelisk into one of those red cubes was he just put random button inputs into the screen until it just unlocked, and then he shared it with the internet. Now, obviously, there is, I'm sure, an answer to how to figure that out. I'm sure that's not the way it was meant to be figured out, but that's how the internet's done it to date. I mean, maybe they figured it out by now. So
what's the deal with that heart that we just saw?
I don't know. It's just like this little Easter egg.
Okay.
Like I think it's a Zelda reference.
Okay.
Because was it Phil Fish? Is this the guy? Yeah, he is clearly a Zelda fan. In Fez's room, there's a poster that's like the opening screen of the original Zelda without any logos or text or anything like that.
Right.
So I think I just kind of think that maybe that's just like a little reference to a heart from Zelda, but
So basically, getting into that room you have to have all of the cubes.
Yes. Yeah. And then even if I didn't go in there before having those other 3 hidden hearts, so maybe if you went in there without maybe there's just absolutely nothing in there. I don't know. So, and I definitely just went to the same place I just was.
That was good.
Yeah. You tend to do that a lot. Or I tend to
navigation
anyway.
can be a challenge in this game.
Yeah. See, now I'm trying to... Okay, so that's where I need to go. Looking in the background there.
So are you going to head back now towards the actual end of the game?
Yes, that's where I'm going now. I wanted to show off that little area. I know it kind of was out of the way, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
And
I bet you will find out like a month from now that there's a whole nother secret connected to that heart.
Probably, yeah. I would not be surprised knowing this game. I mean, did you see the secrets with the soundtrack? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like if you buy the soundtrack, you can look at the files, and there's all these like hidden images and all these kind of things. It's this game, man. It's full of mystery. Okay, so this is where I want to go to head towards the end of the game, I believe.
This mysterious little town.
Okay. Yeah, and all these people, they just do this Fez language, which
is translatable, right?
Yeah, it is translatable, and I kind of want to talk. It's a little bit of a puzzle spoiler, if you don't mind, Matt. I kind of do want to discuss how it's solved.
Yeah, go for it.
Because that's another one that I did. Like my wife and I did the translating ourselves, but we did have to look up a key.
Okay.
And the way that you figure out how the language works, other than maybe just like if you're an expert, I guess cartographer. Yeah, like maybe you could figure it out by looking for the common vowels and that kind of thing. But apparently somewhere in the game, and I'm not sure where it is, there is a dog laying on the ground, and there's a fox jumping over it.
Okay.
And there's Jason, you're nodding your head like you know what this is. I did not. Do you know what this is? Yeah, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog is a sentence that uses every letter in the English language. And so when you see that fox jumping over that dog, there's a sign next to it.
Okay.
That has, the text, the Fez text.
Okay.
And so that's how you translate it.
Got it.
Which I never in a million years would have figured it out because I'm not familiar with that sentence. Apparently that's like a common kind of Rosetta Stone sort of thing, but I had never heard of it. There's no way I ever would have figured it out.
Funny.
So, let's see. Okay, so one of these doors. Sorry, I'm not more prepared to kind of know exactly where to go.
The big one there?
Yes. Okay. So this, the ending is a little bit different than the main ending when you have all the cubes. It's not hugely different, but it's cool.
Well, I know when you do it the first time, the times that I've gone through and beaten it, both like right after I got 32 cubes, and I've gone back a couple of times when I've had a few more cubes to see if anything changes, which of course it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I always notice is that you do see the cube kind of getting filled up with other cubes.
Yeah.
And it never gets all the way filled. Presumably now it will be all the way filled.
Oh, it's about to.
It's about to be filled up.
It's about to be filled all the way with cubes.
Awesome. Well, we talked about your favorite puzzle. You said that you think that was that other one is maybe the hardest.
Oh yeah, the translating the language, is tough. But then there's also a room, and it's totally optional. You don't have to do this room because it just gives you one of those red cubes.
Okay.
Where there's a bunch of text, and there's all these blocks on the ground, and you translate the text, and it's a riddle, and then you have to reorganize the blocks to answer the riddle.
Okay.
And the riddle is like, I might be misquoting it, so I apologize if it's wrong, but it's something like, it's like security question, is what the text says. Security question, which I thought was funny. I'm like having trouble concentrating and platforming.
Isn't it fun to play and try to explain something interesting at the same time?
Okay, so there's some text and it says, what does it say? It says, oh my gosh. Oh, what is my name? I think is what it is. It's something like that. Like, what is my name? And then, I didn't know you could die here.
Yeah, if you fall far enough.
Well, since it's kind of low gravity, I didn't realize you could die. It's what is my name? And then you can rotate to see the other side of this block with more text, and it says, it says hint, what this is, and what this is, and what it's who. I'm so sorry. I'm really struggling here. This is embarrassing, and it's really, I'm sure, super entertaining to listen to. But it's like what this is, and who created it. I think it was.
Okay.
That's what it is. What this is and who created it. And the answer to the question is Metatron.
Okay.
Which I guess is like meta. Like this is really meta. This is what this is. And then Tron, I guess, because it's like Polytron is the developer.
Okay.
Because when I said ask what my name is, I was trying all these options like Phil Fish. Like I had 8 letters, and I was like trying to figure out what it was, and so I went to the internet for that one. But
That's tricky.
I wouldn't have gotten that one. There's no way I would have gotten that one. Thankfully, it's optional. So sorry that took way too long to explain. I apologize.
It's all good.
All right, so here we go on the ending. We'll whisper through this part.
Quiet.
Yeah, so like before you get all the cubes, it fills up like however many cubes you have.
Yeah,
It
totally.
stops. Yeah.
Come on, buddy. You can do it.
I love this sort of. They do it a lot in the beginning of the game too. Like it's almost like the game is fighting with itself, sort of. Like I really think that's really funny and cool.
So normally at this part, that it like glitches out.
Yeah.
And you do get a restart,
Like you do in the beginning of the game.
but it's all glitchy. Where this all seems very clean.
Yeah.
There's no glitches, so things are kind of the way they're meant to be, right?
Yeah. Till you go here. So you're back in your house. Oh, there's that poster I was referencing.
Oh yeah,
Clearly
yeah,
from
there it
Zelda.
is.
And there's the drum set. There's another reason I like this game because, I play drums and Fez plays drums. We have a lot in common. We both see three-dimensional space where everyone else sees two-dimensional.
Yeah.
So it's one of the reasons I got this job here at Game Informer is because I can
That
see
is
it.
a special skill set that you have.
So yeah, just you're just kind of here.
Well, this all looks
Back
pretty
home.
close to the normal ending.
Yeah, it is pretty close. Do you want to talk about what the kind of a little bit of what the normal ending was, or?
Well, so far, with the exception of those glitches, it's been pretty similar.
Well, now maybe I'm wrong. Am I remembering correctly? But on the other ending, doesn't it zoom in? Doesn't it start going in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
And
is
it gets
different.
kind of blurry and right.
This is totally different. Crazy.
Puts it all in perspective.
That's right.
It's the hypercube.
Yep. The impossible object.
Yeah, my wife, when she saw that there were hypercubes in the loading screen, she's like, "Ooh, what are you playing? This looks cool."
Is this Poltergeist?
The ring, actually.
Okay.
Just some pot. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, that is cool. You're right. The big difference is that it's sort of zooming back out as compared to the other ending where you're zooming in. But they're both carrying, I think, a kind of a similar message, right?
Yeah.
The wider theme of the game is really about like the world and the universe being more complex than we can perceive with our senses, and I think that both endings kind of give you a different take on that message.
Yeah, because we were talking about at lunch a little bit. You were talking about how the sort of the theme of the game is like perspective.
Sure.
And the normal ending, like you were saying, is you're zooming in and zooming in and in and in, and you're sort of seeing this like how deep everything goes.
Like the layers of the universe.
Yeah.
As you go closer and closer, there's more and more stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the alternate with the same message. It's like you can go out to, and it's like this sort of endless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, congrats to Polytron for putting together what I think is one of the most kind of unusual and cool puzzle games of the last couple of years.
Yeah, I really adored this game. I really love this game. I actually have just a quick, just kind of, maybe it's not that interesting story, but I'm a new dad.
Yeah.
And so I put the baby to bed, and I was like, I'm going to play some Fez for a little while.
Right.
And next thing I know, the baby's crying. And it's not like it's 6 a.m. Like,
Right.
I need to wake up and feed her. You know what I mean? So this is like the first all-nighter that a game has inspired me to pull in quite a while. Like so then I had to put the game down and take care of the baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
After not having any sleep because of this game, just like it just got into my brain and it just wouldn't let me fall asleep for whatever reason.
It definitely has a similar quality for me. During the days that I was really playing this hardcore, I would go to sleep and definitely have dreams at night that were kind of relating back to it, and just dreams that would be kind of about that sensation of sort of confusion mixed with discovery that the game kind of constantly elicits as you play it. I found myself after nights like that, I'd get up the next morning convinced that I couldn't make any progress in the game whatsoever. But I'd go back into the game anyway and be like, I'll try it a little more. And sure enough, there would be a few more solutions in front of me. And I suspect that that will continue. You know, I'm still playing through the game and still have about half the anti-cubes yet to find.
Yeah. And just as a note to you personally, and maybe anyone who watched, like that, what we all went through revealed very little of what's surprising about the game. Like you got to see the cool, like alternate ending, but I mean, there's still, even if you just beat the game once and you go back and start trying to solve the other puzzles, I mean, there's still tons to look at. So don't feel like that you've been like especially cheated if you're, decided to spoil this for yourself. There's still a lot to discover in this game,
Yeah, I hope people do. I hope people take the time to go back in after they complete the game and see all the rest that it has to offer, because I think a lot of the richest experiences occur at that point.
And I want to show one more thing if we can. That's kind of why I was talking to the credits. There's just one more quick little kind of bonus to do. I know this video is probably going kind of long now. But so New Game Plus. This will be my third New Game Plus.
So this is New Game Plus,
yes,
kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so one thing, and then I promise I'll stop talking about Fez.
Well, in New Game Plus, the first time through, for people who haven't gotten that far yet, you do get these special glasses. Instead of the magic Fez that drops down that lets you change your perspective, you get these glasses that let you look in the first person.
Yeah.
So are you saying there's something different now?
Yes, there is. You get another, I guess, a little bit of a pre-spoiler, even though we're about to spoil it, is you do get another item.
Cool. Let's see it.
That sort of changes your perspective yet again, perhaps. I'm just going to skip through all that.
It's our friend, the Hypercube again. Right?
Eye patch guy and Seagull. I think this game, and I mentioned this earlier, has more in common with Portal than I think people are. I mean, not. No one's really talked about it, or that I've seen. That I feel like this game and Portal have a lot in common because it's all about, solving these puzzles in a way that sort of changes the way you look at navigating your environment.
Sure.
And also, like Portal, Fez invaded my dreams quite a bit. You know what I mean? Rotating worlds, like. Man, I when I was playing Portal 2, I had so many dreams that portals were real, and I was using them to like get to work and around the house and stuff like that.
Right.
So this is pretty similar to what happens regardless of when you start,
So in this New Game Plus, is there stuff left to do, or do they start you back over without all your collectibles?
I have everything.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there's new stuff. I mean, there certainly could be. I don't know. This game is crazy. There could be all kinds of crap.
Those look suspiciously like 3D glasses.
They do. It's kind of disappointed when you get the sunglasses. They don't just stay on your face while you're playing.
Right.
That's it. He's so happy, Gomez. So you can toggle stereoscopy in the options. But it's like old school 3D.
Right.
So you got to go find some of those red and blue glasses. So yeah, that's what I want. I just wanted everyone to see that. You get 3D glasses, which is...
I hope we have people right now digging up their 3D stereoscopic glasses just so that they can watch this one sequence.
I saw when I saw this, I was like, oh man, do I have any of those like around the house? Or could I find some?
Maybe in an old comic book somewhere or something.
Or something like that, but... Yeah, so you can play the whole game like that in that weird...
That's very cool.
Old school 3D. So.
They've hidden... one of the things I respect about the game a lot is that they've hidden some of their coolest content late in the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Things that a large percentage of players might never see. which is unfortunate because a lot of it's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've discovered. You know?
Kyle, thank you for taking the time to track down all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Oh, there we have
it was my
Gomez's
pleasure.
house
in 3D.
We'll leave you guys with that. And thanks for watching another episode of The Completionist.
Oh yeah, I want to thank my wife Ashley because she really did. I mean, it was me and her playing this. She solved a lot of the puzzles that I couldn't. So thanks
to Ashley too. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.